It's an NBA Minute on the Gary Sharp Show. Gary, Duncan Robinson has some fans in New York. Anyway, Becky Hammon said she knew she was second while she was interviewing for the Blazers job, that she knew that Portland wanted Chauncey Billups. Things are going around right now about the Warriors discussing the idea of trading for Damian Lillard. There is a mock trade out there that would send Damian Lillard to the Warriors, and Portland Trailblazers would receive James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, the number 7 and 14 pick, and a 2022 first-round pick. No, that's probably not happening. Colin Sexton, he's probably not going back to Cleveland. Cleveland will not pay him the max, and he is definitely on the trade market. Magic get Jamal Mosley as their head coach. The Pels might be looking to trade the 10th pick. Giannis said last night all he cares about right now is getting one more win after being the third guy ever to go back-to-back 40 and 10 games in the finals. He joins Shaq and LeBron James as the other two. Bucks took care of business last night. And I do think this might now be a series, especially if Giannis is out here shooting 70% from the free throw line. Things could get interesting. Things could definitely get interesting here for Game 4, which is on Wednesday. So an extra day of break for everybody in this series. So I'm here for this.
A couple of quick things. Then I got the question about the NBA. So Schwellenbach says the Braves have told him that he will be a pitcher, though they also like him as a shortstop. There's a chance he could do both, but they have not finalized it. But they like him more as a pitcher. Cade Povich, 98th overall, third-round pick to the Twins. He gone, and he should be. There's no reason that he should be coming back to college. That is about $593,000 that is headed his way. So again, Nebraska's going to have to go find a brand new Friday night starter. It's the first time since 2005 that Nebraska has had two players taken in the first 3 rounds of the same draft. And you know how good.
That's awesome.
You know how good that 05 team was with the talent they had there. So good sign for Nebraska. And when you're 34-14, you should, and you have guys that are eligible to be drafted, you should have some high draft picks. And 2 guys going in the first 3 rounds is great for Nebraska. I mean, it's a program that is trending up. There is a lot of momentum for Nebraska baseball. Now, here's how this thing will work with the draft. And it goes through 10 rounds today, and then they finish up tomorrow with 20. Nebraska will lose their shortstop and their closer. They'll lose their starter on Fridays in the Big Ten, and their number 1 starter, an ace. They will keep a close eye to see if there's a guy that could come in as a freshman and be their ace. What happens to Drew Christo? A guy that could be one of the corner outfielders in Chase Mason. Jackson Hallmark is one they will watch as well. I think Cam Wynn, I don't think will come back. I think he'll have an opportunity to go pitch in pro baseball out of the bullpen. But I was just checking during the break with college baseball. And Ed Service at Creighton and Evan Porter over at Omaha are in the same boat that Will Bolt will be in. It doesn't get nearly the attention that college football and college basketball get. My God, there are a horde of players that are in the portal in college baseball. There are some really, really good players that are in the portal in college baseball. I mean, there has to be over 1,000 players in college baseball that are in the portal, and some really, really good players. There are 17 players from Arizona that are in the portal. So Jay Johnson left to go to LSU. Some guys followed him to LSU. Essentially, half the roster said, I'm leaving Arizona before Chip Hale was announced as their head coach. There's college baseball, with the draft only being 20 rounds, is going to be in a really good spot because they're not going to lose as many players to the draft. So guys will be in college a little bit longer. You got to be in, you're in for 3 years if a Christo or a Mason decide that they're going to Lincoln, and they're going to stay in Lincoln before they can be drafted again. Plus the extra year, the super seniors, and the portal. The portal will become really big. Texas A&M is really aggressive right now in the portal. There was a player that Omaha was involved in from here in Nebraska that was in the portal. But you'll be able to, after the draft, fix your roster pretty quick. That's a good sign for college baseball. All right, 149. Ohtani is starting in the All-Star game on the mound. Not a surprise. He will also hit. They're going to change the rules, so when he leaves as a pitcher, he can stay in the game as a hitter. He'll be opposed by Max Scherzer. The home run derby is tonight. I like Joey Gallo from the Texas Rangers. He is my pick. I hope it is an exciting event. I think the bat should be corked. I think the balls should be juiced. The balls aren't in the humidor. I hope people hit a ton of home runs. I hope they hit them a long way because I think the home run derby will be bigger than the game. Some fans may prefer the home run derby. We'll talk more about the All-Star game and baseball and the familiar refrain, how do you save baseball, tomorrow for the All-Star game. But the home run derby is coming up at 7 tonight. I've asked this question. We're going to run out of time, but I do want to bring it back up. I asked Verzal, I asked Bruns, are you hiring an athletic director at Nebraska for the athletic department or football? No, there's some of the candidates that are mentioned that may have been touched have a football background, an Ed Stewart, a Trev Alberts, guys that I think are solid candidates like a Garth Glissman, who's now working in the NBA front office but was a backup quarterback at Nebraska. Are you hiring for the entire athletic department or just for football? The athletic director, football should kind of run on its own. Do you really need the athletic director hovering over football? You need the athletic director to take care of the entire athletic department and keep his fingers crossed that football will be okay and will right the ship and they will be able to run by themselves. They will be able to create their identity that either sets the tone or matches what you want as an identity for your entire athletic program. But I think you're doing it wrong if you're just hiring an athletic director that is for the football program. You're hiring it for the title, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln athletic director. We all know football is the elephant in the room. And football can either be something you run into as the challenge or you don't want to deal with. But you also have to have some faith that those people that are running football, that they know what they're doing. And the only time that I should get involved is that's not a good thing. And my door is always open and my phone is always on. Hey, what you need, I'll provide for you. I'm taking care of everybody. We are your biggest fan. We need you to be good, be consistent, do what you do in football. But I wasn't hired just to be the athletic director to you guys. You guys actually have kind of an athletic director for football. He's the liaison. You're pros, you know what you're doing. I got to take care of everybody. That's what I'm being hired for. Football is part of it, and football is a main part, but I'm the athletic director for the entire department, not just football. And I'm going to leave you guys alone. But whatever you need, you let me know, and I'll get it for you. And the only time that I should get involved with you is that's probably not a good thing. That's how I would look at it. Do you really, if you're even throwing a John Cook out there, I want John Cook in the Devaney Center, not in Memorial Stadium. I mean, John Cook's not hiring to all of a sudden go, hey, Scott, can we talk about your third down package when you're in the red zone? I mean, it helps to have a football background and to know the business side and the real life side of football, but you're hiring an athletic director for the athletic department, not for football. I mean, if it was, the search committee would just be full of people that have football backgrounds instead of people that have vested interest in the athletic department as a whole doing well. All right, 153, good Monday show to kick off a week. It'll be another busy week around here. I also want to mention it does not slow down in July. NBA finals come back on Wednesday. Home Run Derby tonight. All-Star game tomorrow. The Open The last major is on Thursday. And the 3SB, SSB Adidas tournament is in town this weekend. The major coaches from around college basketball will be in town. So we'll talk about that a little bit later in the week. For George, for all of you that have shared drinking out of shoe stories with us, before the week is over, we're going to do this. Bring it. I'll. You know what? I've got some nice shoes. I got some sprees.
Okay.
Would you drink out of a spree?
I'm not promising you anything. But I won't say no.
I have some dress shoes that have like a hard sole.
I'd probably go dress shoe. I'm not going to make any promises.
If you really cared for me, you would accept a drink out of my Moen shoes.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, they don't smell. They're just dirty on the outside.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'm Gary. If you missed anything today, Matt Verzal, who's celebrating a birthday, or Michael Bruntz, good insight on the draft, and Rob Childress joining Nebraska's staff. They're all up on the radio replay page. You can find that at 1620thezone.com. USC is coming up next. We're back again tomorrow at 10 with another edition of the Gary Sharp Show on 1620 The Zone.